Brought to you by the Every Dollar app. Start budgeting for free today.
I'm 21 years old. I made some bad decisions when I was 18. I financed a vehicle, a new truck, and I feel like I'm just swallowed in the truck payment. I can't breathe. I want to be able to rent an apartment and then, get to the buying a house stage, and I feel like I'm running out of time. And I have so much debt and not enough money. I'm living paycheck to paycheck, and I just want to live by myself,
Yeah, for sure. I admire that. I think it's a good thing. Tell us more about this truck that it's got you in a chokehold. What's the payment?
So I have the whole thing pulled up here on my phone. It's $679.83 a month. I financed it September 24th, 2021 for 75 months.
Okay.
And I still have 46 payments remaining. I still owe $30,000 on it, and it's worth about 20.
Oh, no. Okay. Shoot. Okay, so you're paying $679 on it. I imagine the insurance is pretty expensive too. What's your income right now?
My income right now is about $600 to $700 per week.
Okay. And what is that? What are you doing?
I do like carpentry work and kind of like odd jobs. I do car audio, kind of a little bit of everything.
Do you work for someone, or is this a solopreneur?
Yeah, it's just a solo thing. I do just random jobs, and I have one guy that kind of I work with, and he kind of organizes the outside stuff.
Mm-hmm. But you don't have any rent, right? You're living with parents still.
I am living with my sister right now, and I give her $400 per month for rent.
Okay. So after everything is said and done, do you have any margin? Because I'm thinking, okay, $1,000 going to this car, $400 to your sister. That leaves $1,000 left. You got to eat. That leaves $700. Am I leaving anything out that's major?
The insurance, the phone payment, I'm completely independent.
Okay. So we kind of talked about this on the other call with George. The equation is simple to understand, but not necessarily easy to do, right? The only way to get out of this is you're either going to lower your expenses, or you're going to get your income up, or you're going to do both, right? And your expenses are pretty low. I mean, other than you getting out of this truck, there's not much better than $400 a month for rent.
And for a guy making $30, should not be driving a truck that's worth $30. You know that now.
Yep.
And so we need to get out of this truck.
Definitely a dumb decision.
The goal is not to try to pay this thing off. The goal is to just get rid of it. Mm-hmm. And you need, obviously, the amount you're upside down on. So we need $10K. You have a few options there. Either save up the $10K plus enough to get a beater car, or you go down to your local credit union and get a loan for $15K. You pay off you have the difference in the 10. That means you can get rid of the truck and sell it. Then you have $5,000 extra to buy yourself a little beater car to get you around.
Yep.
And for new listeners, we never recommend debt, but this is the only time that we would say, hey, it's better to be in $15,000 of debt than $30,000 of debt. So this is the only time we'd say, hey, go to the credit union, take out a small personal loan, because ultimately, although it seems like we're getting a loan, we're still lowering the debt substantially. So that's the purpose of that.
The only problem is my sister wants to get a house, and she's renting this house, and it feels like she's doing it just for me, so I have a place to live.
Mm-hmm.
And I feel like I'm holding her back. So, and every time we have the conversation, her and I, she's just like, you're going to have to figure something out, because I'm going to be leaving here soon in the next few months.
Listen, that sounds like a very real issue, and you might be holding her back, which is all the more reason that you've got to get going on this. There's nothing stopping you from getting off this call and going straight down to the credit union. There's nothing stopping you from researching your options as soon as you get off this call. And then after that, you're freeing up $1,000 of income. What does it cost in your area to rent with a roommate?
It's $400 per month.
Okay. Well, there you go. So it's just you shifting from one roommate to another.
Yeah.
Okay.
And Nolan, the key here, the glaring thing is your income.
I have really bad credit.
Have you been behind on payments? Why is your credit bad?
Yes. So I had 2 credit cards. When I first turned 18, I got them midnight the night I turned 18, and I put $1,000 on each of them. And then when tax season came around, I paid one of them off completely. So I just have like $1,000 in other debt, and then about $2,000 or $3,000 in hospital bills.
Okay. Do you still have the credit cards, or did you cut them up?
I cut them up,
Good.
but I did recently get 2 new ones.
Why?
Nolan.
Why?
I'm trying to improve my credit,
Stop.
but I don't know. if
Stop.
that's
Clearly,
right.
we're not good at this game, bud. Okay, we got to cut up the cards and say no and use our own money. That's how we're going to get out of this, and this is how we're going to build wealth. Will you promise me you will cut those up and never sign up for a credit card again?
I promise I'll cut them up.
Because here's what's going to happen. As you pay off the debt, as you get rid of the car loan, your credit score will naturally improve. And then eventually, it'll disappear. And you'll find out that it was a terrible scoreboard for winning financially, as we now know, at 21, after a series of poor decisions. But guess what? You're not running out of time. I don't know what it is, but young people out there, Jade, feel like, well, I'm 21 and I screwed it up and now there's not enough time and I need to buy a house and I want to be an adult now, but I made past decisions.
Yeah.
Nolan, you've got so much time on your hands that you wouldn't know what to do with it. The key is you got to start making the most of it.
I think you kind of hit an avalanche. You know, it's like you were going along and all of a sudden all the mistakes kind of compiled on each other and now you're feeling it. Plus you're feeling the heat from your sister saying, you got to get out, you got to get out. And so I think you are feeling a sense of urgency, but listen, take it as a blessing because you needed a little fire under your butt to get this thing done. So.
And most people your age are broke, so at least you're not alone in that. But the key, the glaring issue, Nolan, is your income. You got to be making more than $600 a month. I mean, if you went and made $15 an hour, you'd give yourself a raise right now, just working a retail job. So either we have to figure out how to scale this business and double or triple our income within the next 6 months, or we got to go work for someone else.
Yeah. How many hours a week are you working doing these odd jobs?
Or about 40, maybe 50 hours per week, and that earns me about, I think it's about $3,600 per month. It's $600 per week.
So what that tells me,
That's $2,400 a month.
Yeah. And so what that tells me is something's got to move because if you're maxed out on time, if you're telling me you're working between 40 and 60 hours, and I mean, you're only one human being, you can only do so much. So that tells me that what you're doing is not bringing in the right amount of money. So you might need to change what you're doing, or you don't have the right price set and you're not charging enough. So start playing with those numbers because you're one person. You got the same amount of hours as everybody else. So let's make it happen.
Absolutely. Thank you, guys.
You got it. I'm going to send you a copy of my book, Breaking Free from Broke, Nolan. It walks through all the things we talked about. There's a whole loans on a whole chapter on car loans, a whole chapter on credit cards. Please read it, and I hope it gives you a terrible taste in your mouth to where you go, I'm not doing this, and then I'll show you a better way in the book. I'll show you how to get margin. That's the Margin is Breathing Room chapter. So I hope that gives you some hope that you're not running out of time, but time is of the essence. And at 21, you can rebuild. Dave Ramsey filed for bankruptcy when he was way older than you, and he rebuilt. And so the key is we don't want to make the same dumb mistakes over again. Making it one time, you'll get a pass on that. You make it two, then they call you a fool.
Yes, that's right.
Fool me once, shame on you. Fool me twice, shame on me. There it is.
Ooh.
Oh, and parents, hey, stop telling your kids to get a credit card as soon as they turn 18. Stop. Stop it. It's not helping them. Nolan's future is stunted because of this move. My 18th birthday, I'm going to get my first credit
Midnight
card.
on the 18th birthday.
Gotta get that cash back. Let me get some airline miles. Let me get my credit score up. And here we are at 21, trying to rebuild. I'm so sorry. This is The Ramsey Show.
Create your free every dollar budget today, the simplest way to budget for your life.